The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up over there at underdogfantasy.com. Promo code NBA SGPN and get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Get up to $750 in cash back rewards each month when you sign up at edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. They was throwing hands last night. They was throwing hands last night.
Well, the debate. Some were throwing hands last night. Some. Not
Some
all.
were trying. Some
Yeah.
were trying.
Mm.
It was a large debate. There was a lot of just technical fouls overall in that game. Very, very spirited game, which ended in the Pistons ultimately just kind of lying down at the end there. But I thought it was a little fun. All right. You heard him, Scott Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beam me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, definitely a pretty interesting day in the NBA yesterday. You mentioned I'll put quotes around it, fight that we ended up seeing where it felt like half the arena got ejected for that game. Besides that, nice win for the Cavs beating the Clippers. I saw the Warriors. So 3 separate teams yesterday scored 145 plus points. And the Hawks look great. They went over their win total. Appreciate it. Thank you, Atlanta. Do want to point out, though, that the Phoenix Suns, remember when they were good for like 3 games, like 2 weeks ago? Yeah, now they gave up 148 at home to Houston, and Durant got injured again. So, yeah, get ready to start your scout. Oh, wait a second. You don't have your own first-round pick? In fact, the team that scored 148 against you yesterday has your first-round pick?
Ouch.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Ouch.
Yeah, so Houston, once again, scored 148 on the road against Phoenix, and they own their draft pick. Not what you want to see if you're Phoenix. So there you go.
And the KD injury.
Yeah, and the KD injury, too. On the bright side, KD might not miss that many games because they might not make the play-in anyway. So there you go. But, yeah, that might have actually been the last game KD ever plays in a Suns jersey. So something to keep in mind.
Wow. Which is crazy.
Well, we agree he's getting traded in the offseason, right?
Yeah, who else can you blame at this point?
Well,
Like,
it's
if
not.
you
It's
got
also a
rid
matter
of
of blaming,
everybody.
but you also might have just have to hit the reset button to some degree. I know Ishbia said he doesn't want to trade Booker, but the Durant thing hasn't worked, and I feel like it's pretty set in stone he's going to be moved in the offseason. So that really might have been his last game in a Suns jersey.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it was like a month back or something. I saw somebody out there make a picture and insinuated some type of Devin Booker to the Knicks type of thing. So that's how I know for a fact Devin Booker isn't getting traded, because those things never come true. I can see. I'm still on KD to Minnesota. It just feels like Minnesota is going to be like, yep, we're going to go get him. We're going to do this again.
My call is still Houston.
Yeah, Houston would be great too.
If
Both
we
those
think
spots.
Houston ends up getting potentially upset in the first round, I'll put quotes around upset because they are the 2 seed, but they're probably going to be a
Draymond in the parking lot. They're going to pull a Draymond in the parking lot.
They're probably going to be a betting underdog in the first round, despite being the 2 seed, at least based on how the odds makers treat them with the future odds, etc. So if they end up losing to a play-in team, they might just realize, listen, what we're doing, we're on a good a track right now, but we got to expedite it a bit. I can see Durant going there.
Yep. Houston back up to the 2 seed. At a two game possession lead of the 2 seed, by the way. So
but I feel like most people are looking at Houston as a pretender. But the argument is, if you're a 2 seed, but you lose in the first round to a 7 seed, then how is your overall season? I feel like Houston would say it was fine, but we clearly need some more offense. And I think KD would help fill that void. So my pick would be Houston. But once again, 3 separate teams scored 145 plus last night. Milwaukee's in shambles, but we knew that and Dame didn't play. Doesn't excuse giving up 145. But yeah, the Warriors scored 148. The Spurs are terrible anyway. Who cares? But that Suns game was definitely the main talking point because that game was over and it was over quickly. And this Suns team might be totally dead. So something to keep in mind.
If you're Houston, you're begging Memphis to fall down into the play-in and then win that first play-in game. Begging. You want to see Memphis in the first round.
All I'm saying is if Memphis fired their coach, nobody's safe. Budenholzer, come on down. You might not be coaching for much longer. We'll see what happens, but
they might as well just go ahead and just fire him again and go get Jenkins.
That's my point.
Just
the
go
Suns
ahead
might
and
end
fire
up with
him.
5 coaches
Just
on
go
the payroll.
ahead.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and fire him again. Like, just fire another one.
I'm not saying it's Coach Bud's fault, but I am saying if the Suns want to keep finding scapegoats, Budenholzer is sitting right there. So,
and Jenkins is now a free agent that nobody expected. All right.
Yeah.
Why would you pay for some tout's Discord when you can get access to our Discord, SGPN, completely for free? Hang out with us in the SGPN community, breaking down all the DGen action over there at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. All right, let's get into the slate, Scott. We got 8 games to go through. First game up on the docket is one of those teams that is competing for the play-in spot in the West. They are currently sitting in the 8th spot. We've got the Los Angeles Clippers going up against the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic are also trying to make a push right now. They are currently sitting at the 8th spot in the East. So we got the 8 versus the 8 here. 2.5 for the Los Angeles Clippers on the road. 209 is the total now. 209.5. That's dropped a couple of points here. Injury report, and we have for these two teams. Let's see here. For the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard is he was ruled out on yesterday, so he might play today actually, because we know Kawhi typically doesn't play back-to-backs. They didn't play him the first game. He might play the second game here. We'll see if Amir Coffey is going to be able to go. He didn't play yesterday, and Jordan Miller didn't play yesterday either. For the Magic, we've got Cole Anthony as a questionable for this game. All right, short home dog for the Orlando Magic against Clippers here.
Yeah, I feel like I might blindly take the Clippers when Kawhi actually plays in games. This team's been playing really well. I feel like Orlando's been playing pretty well too recently, but watching Kawhi play, and I know that it is definitely a setup for him to succeed because they don't play him on back-to-backs and they sit him a couple games to keep him, I'd say, spry for the playoffs, but he looks really good. And even yesterday, they hung with Cleveland, and Kawhi didn't play. So I'm not even going to roast them for losing that road game to Cleveland. But they're playing good basketball. Orlando has been playing better lately. Did lose that random home game, though, to Dallas, so I'm a bit concerned there. But I think for this game itself, the Clippers did win the first game back in November by 11. Once again, that was months ago. I don't know if it actually matters. But if Kawhi is playing, I'm lying. I'll go with the Clippers minus 2.5. I just think that Kawhi has been looking like his old self again. And you're looking at Orlando. Yes, Paolo's been great. Franz's shot has been a bit underwhelming lately, but the Clippers have more options offensively, whether it involves Harden, whether it involves Powell, even Zubac. I think at the end of the day, the Clippers are the better team, and they're in great form. I'll go with the Clippers minus 2.5. But assuming that Kawhi actually plays.
Yeah, Clippers been getting it done on the road too. 8-2 out of their last 10 road games. They've gotten a win, 7-3 against the spread of their last 10 road games. The Clippers are really, really on right now. They did get the cover last night, I believe. Let me make sure. Yep, because it was 7. They got the cover last night against the Cavaliers. Did not get the outright win. Let's see here. That's what I was looking at. Clippers on a back-to-back this season. 3-4 against the number. Oh wait, no, that's on the road. Okay, on the road they're 3-4 against the number, 4-3 straight up. 2-5 to the over under for the full season, about the same numbers, 7-6 for the full season, 6-7 ATS, 4-9 to the under. So a little bit of a stronger play on the under there for the Clippers on the back-to-back, but I think it's pretty much as you said. They go out here, and with Kawhi Leonard on this team, I mean, they play well without Kawhi Leonard, and then Kawhi Leonard doesn't hurt them at all. When he
Have you
goes
been watching Kawhi, by the way, for the last couple weeks?
Yeah,
He looks
he's been,
crazy
and
out there.
it feels like that the injuries kind of feel. I don't want to say they're a thing of the past because Kawhi could pop up injured the next day, and we wouldn't be surprised. But it feels like when Kawhi's healthy, he's legit top 5 player in the league.
I mean, once again, the Clippers are handling with bubble wrap. It's why he sits every back-to-back and why he's not guaranteed to play every given game. But when he actually has been playing lately, he looks really, really good. Like, prime Kawhi good. So something to keep in mind. Orlando, do they have many guys to match up against them? I actually don't know the answer to that question. Like, I think that Orlando has a lot of good overall defenders in general, but do I think they match up well against Kawhi's physicality? And I don't actually think they do. Do you?
I think it's more of scheme, and you just got to figure out how to get him in unfavorable positions with the basketball. But Kawhi Leonard at this point is just deciding to do everything. And then if you get a Norman Powell or a James Harden game alongside that, then it's really, really tough. And this is going to be I think this is going to be a little bit of a slower, uglier game type deal. Maybe they do take away Kawhi, but do they capitalize on it? I don't think so. I'm on Clippers at under here.
Yeah, I'm with the under as well. I know Orlando's good defensively. Clippers, we're not good defensively against Cleveland, but Kawhi coming back helps. So I agree with you. I'll go with the under too.
All right. Let's see here. Next game up. This should be quick. This is disgusting. We've got Utah Jazz going up against the Charlotte Hornets here. Scott, we are a day from April. A day from April. These two teams have a combined 34 wins.
Okay.
Combined 105 losses. Dude, it's really bad. Like, that's a horrible. Like, that's a pretty bad toilet game. 34 and 105.
You think Cooper Flagg's parents are doing some scouting in this game?
Possibly. Psh. Give me the points. It's no way I'm laying the number with Charlotte.
I think I'll agree with you on this one. Charlotte, at the end of the day, with no LaMelo, what am I looking at? Like, Miles Bridges has been, I'd say, a pretty streaky player throughout most of his career. He's been on a downswing lately. He's been really, really bad recently with the shot. So until he turns it around again, I don't know if Charlotte's going to score in this game. Utah, yes, I know that they've been sitting guys left and right, and I am wondering if Sexton's going to play in this game, but I still think that the Jazz have some talent on this team. I mean, I like Collier as a point guard. Filipowski's been fine. They're also using Shibwe as a center, who's actually been pretty good so far in his limited role with this team. For Charlotte, you're looking at KJ Simpson, maybe Jeffries. Bridges, I said before, has not been good. Mark Williams is questionable too. I think Utah, I know both teams are terrible, but you could argue Utah on paper has a bit more scoring depth if you want to throw in Keontae George off the bench, etc. I don't know how Charlotte's going to score unless Bridges has himself a good game, which he has not really had in the last week and a half. So I'll go with the Jazz. I know Kessler is already out for this game. Same thing with Collins, etc. And Markkanen's out. So that is going to be a bit concerning, but I'll go with Utah. I just assume Filipowski and Shibwe dominate the glass in this game, right? Shouldn't they dominate the boards?
You would hope so.
I hope so. So give me the team with second chance points.
You'll see. Well, we'll see if Mark Williams goes. Maybe he didn't go on the Sunday game, so he might be able to go here. You talked about it. Kessler, Markkanen, Collins all out. Cody Williams on the sick report, and Colin Sexton questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not made to really talk about.
No chance I bet this game, but
no
I'll go with Utah.
No shot. We're on Utah. All right. Let's look at here. Edge Boost. Partnering up with Edge Boost has been great. They are the premier Visa debit card for sports bettors. allows you to earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards. Avoid having your card denied, or if you just don't want to give them your personal information like that, use the Edge Boost card. Perfect medium to use. Is FDIC insured, and it's completely free. No credit checks. Just go over there to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. That is edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet every single sport and props for every game. Plus, they have a bunch of customers in a whole bunch of different locations. So go check out mybookie.ag. Make sure your location is supported. Easily deposit and lightning fast payouts with cryptocurrency. So head over there to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for your promo code, and you can get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. All right. Let's see here. We've got next game up. Miami Heat on the road going to play the Washington Wizards. Wizards are catching 8.5. 216 is the total. 216.5. I'm sorry, is the total. Let's see here. Alec Burks is probable to play in this one. You're not going to see Jovic or Kevin Love or Duncan Robinson or Andrew Wiggins in this game. For the Wizards, you won't see Chris Middleton, Anthony Gill, Keyshawn George, Bilal Koulibaly's out.
Well, including the minutes, you might see 20 minutes of Jordan Poole. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
They're just throwing him out there for cardio and then saying we're letting the young guys play the entire second.
But it's crazy because they really are, by the way. But he's doing really good when he's out there. Like, that's the thing that's really shocking me. Jordan Poole's points and assists, point PRA, how his props have been money for like the past week plus. And I mean, what is it, 12? Yeah, he's been over in 12 of his last 15 games.
Yeah, like, and he's playing like less than 25 minutes in basically all those games.
Like, what is going on? This is clearly tanking. Like, that's clear. That is clearly tanking. It has
tanking, but I feel like they're trying to avoid the Utah situation where they don't want to get fined the $100K for sitting people for no reason. So they're trying to like manipulate the minutes.
Put them out there for 5-minute bursts. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
It's crazy because Jordan Poole gets out there and he looks great. He looks great. I don't know, man. Whatever. I hate that it's Washington, but Miami's laying 8.5 here. I can't possibly do that.
I think I am going to do it. I was in the same pickle that you were in because I know based on, the past, we're going to automatically fade Miami. That was mostly at home when they were laying this big of a number, but Washington has been punting games. They lost to the Nets, who were also trying to tank the other day. Shout out to Drew Timme, who had the game-winning goaltender layup there. But you're looking at the Wizards, and they have been a mess for the entire season, but especially lately. Miami, after losing 10 straight or so, has actually been good. They've won 4 straight, beat Charlotte, beat Golden State, beat Atlanta, and beat Philly by 23 on the road last game. Philly, could argue, at this point, might be worse than Washington, but they're in the same ballpark. You make the argument about it, so I'll go with Miami in this one. They are a bit shorthanded based on Robinson and Wiggins missing this game, but they missed last game too. And Larson was actually very good, filling in the starting lineup. So I actually took a Larson prop overnight. I took the over 7.5 points in this game. I think it's up to 8.5. I like the over anyway on Larson, but I'll go with Miami. They're actually playing better basketball at the moment, and Washington could not care less. I'll go with Miami minus 8.5. So I think they should cover. I know Miami tends to play with their food, which is why we always fade them. But Washington, when you have healthy starters and you're going out of your way to bench them the entire second half, I'm not betting on you, but it's just not an option for me. So I'll go with Miami minus 8.5. They played 2 times this season. Miami won both games by like 18 plus. So Miami's owned them so far in the head-to-head. They've won both meetings by 16 plus. So I'll go with Miami to cover the 8.5.
Yeah, I remember betting the Wizards one of those games. It was like 11.5.
They weren't even close.
It was good until it wasn't.
Yeah, but I'm saying the Wizards, both meetings this season, have scored less than 99 points.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't trust them scoring in this game. So I'll take Miami.
Yeah, different Miami team for me. Can't do
Fair.
it. Can't do it. All right. Let's see here. Next game on the docket. We've got the Sacramento Kings going on the road to go play the Indiana Pacers. Scott, we're still in the 7 o'clock hour here, by the way.
Halliburton Sabonis revenge trade?
Yeah. Laying 5.5 are the Kings at home here. 234 is the total. Devin Carter and Jake LaRuvia both out for the Kings. Ben Matherin out for the Pacers here.
I mean, that's a big deal. We know Matherin's a very good scorer on this team.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
what is this? What is
yeah.
this Kings team? What is this Kings team? It just feels like they're. What is their record now? 36-30. I guess they're due for a couple.
I mean, right now they're a playing team. That's what they are. They're going to lose immediately, but they're a playing team.
I was literally about to say, I feel like this is just a 500 team that's just hanging around the league, and we don't ever really talk about them or give them any credit for anything. They're just sitting there. Like, they're just sitting there in the league at 500, just hanging around. And now they're somehow in the play-in, and they're probably due for a couple of wins because now they're 2 games under 500. And I'm telling you, this is like the definition of a 500 basketball club.
Yeah. I mean, we know offensively they have options with Levine, with DeRozan, with Sabonis. Defensively, they're a mess half the time. We saw them lose to Orlando by 30. That's tough to do over the weekend. Indiana, though, I mean, what have they been doing lately? They've been beating bad teams barely, and then you're looking at them against good teams, and they really have not looked the part. Now, luckily for them, the Kings aren't that good, but I do want to ask you, like, I think the Kings should win this game. Do I want to lay 5.5 with Indiana? Not really. I really don't. I feel like they scored 162 against the Wizards. The Wizards are also a joke, but they played the Lakers at home, lost on that buzzer beater by LeBron, and they played the Thunder, and they got buried. The Thunder beat everybody. So the Kings have been playing really bad ball. I'm aware of it, but I think I'm with you, though. That line feels very, very trappy. Like, you're looking at the Indiana line, you're going, why are they only favored by 5.5? It feels like they should be favored by more. Maybe the scoring depth without Matherin is just going to be non-existent, and you're kind of just expecting the Kings to hang in there. I don't know if I want to bet the Kings, but I definitely don't want to lay 5.5, in my opinion, in this spot with Indiana. I'd probably just take the over in this game. I think you'll see points between these two teams because I don't trust the Kings to guard anybody, and I don't trust Indiana to play good defense. So I'll go over on this one instead. I'll just cop out on the side. I'll go with the over.
Yeah, the over feels like the play for me, too. It's just, I can't. 90. Now, granted, it was the Orlando Magic, but 91 points to Orlando Magic. They had
But how did they give up to Orlando?
Gave up 121. Yeah.
You know how insane that is? Giving up 121 to Orlando is like 130-something to an average NBA team. That's crazy.
And that's also where I'm very concerned because what if they don't do their part of the scoring? They did get 128 against Portland. OKC's a good defense, 105. You got Boston, a good defense, 95. Milwaukee's been playing better defense, so 108. So, I mean, as long as they take advantage of what the Pacers give them, they should be able to get there. But
yeah, I see Adam mentioning Pacers team total over, which I don't mind either. Indiana really could walk into one.
Yeah, I feel like Pacers team total over is where I see it too. But if I didn't have that available, I would probably go over. And they're at 119 and a half. So yeah, I could see Pacers team total over. Okay, I'm fine with that.
I mean, even with Matherin not playing, Halliburton's been great. So you might end up getting just a solid Halliburton 25 and 15 type game. Maybe.
Appreciate it. I sneezed on camera for those listening on podcast. And he said, "Bless you." Appreciate it. Yeah.
It's a game I'm not as excited as I was hoping to be for, you know?
Yeah, because I would really, really, really like to jump in on the Kings as a dog here. But I just can't trust this Kings team right now.
No, they look disinterested half the time. So
Yeah.
I think I agree about the Pacers team total over.
All right.
Because if the Kings end up hanging in there, it's because of the offense. I don't trust them to get stops.
Yeah.
So I'll just pick the Pacers to score.
All right. Let's see here. We've got the Boston Celtics going on the road to play the Memphis Grizzlies, kinda, whatever this team is. Boston's laying 5. 236.5 is the total. Let's see here. What's on the injury report?
Taylor Jenkins not there.
Yeah. All right, we got Jaylen Brown as a questionable. Only thing on the injury report for the Boston Celtics. Oh, wait, hold on. I guess it's updating now. Luke Cornett is questionable on the sick report. Just knew it. Just knew we were going to. Well, we had Cody Williams earlier, but just knew the sick report was going to come back up and rear its ugly head. Let's see. Is there anything else? No other updates after that. So just Jaylen Brown, Luke Cornett. For the Grizzlies, yeah, that's it. Nothing on the injury report that matters for them. Wow. Fire the coach and everybody healthy now.
Yeah, I do want to point out the Grizzlies did win the first win in the season back in November in Boston. That was months ago. But I'm going to ask you, because the Grizzlies have been atrocious. So do you think this is a get-up spot for the Grizzlies? Or is this just we fired the coach, but our team's got serious issues? This doesn't actually change anything.
No, I don't think this has changed anything at all. I think they're about to get steamrolled.
That's kind of where I'm at. I mean, that Lakers game they had over the weekend, they scored 127. They couldn't get a stop to save their lives, so that's kind of a common theme here. I do have a fun trivia question, though, to ask you involving the Grizzlies. Do you know the last time the Grizzlies beat a team over 500?
The last time Grizzlies beat a team over 500?
Yeah.
Before the All-Star break.
Okay, so give me a month and a day.
January 20th.
Okay, so you're close. It was February 2nd. They beat Milwaukee on the road. But Milwaukee, we know, has been kind of underwhelming. But after beating Milwaukee on the road on February 2nd, they've lost every game to teams above 500. They were able to beat Phoenix. They beat Orlando. They ended up beating Dallas, who I think right now they're still 1 under at the moment. February 2nd, you haven't beaten a team over 500 in 2 months?
Yikes.
And Boston's been good lately. They've been rotating guys in and out of the lineup, and they've still been kicking ass. Boston's starting to look like they're gearing up for the playoffs. They've been really good. I'll go with Boston -4.5.
Yeah. And the fact that Boston has done really, really well in revenge spots against teams this season.
Yeah.
So, like that Kings game, they just and beating the Kings, yeah, they're pretty good in revenge spots this season. All right, I hate it, but yeah, Boston's probably going to win this one.
I'm just not sure Memphis gets enough stops. They just don't guard anybody, and they play extremely up-tempo. Do I think the coaching change fixes that? No, because they give up 134 to the Lakers. So I don't really know what this accomplishes. Unless the argument is they were going to move on from Jenkins after the season anyway, so I thought, why not? We'll give this guy a 10-game trial run. But there's nothing really to like about this team right now. Boston's playing objectively good basketball. So I'll go with Boston.
Might be a 14-game trial run, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well, if you factor in the playoffs, they might be a play-in team, so who knows? But
yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe get to the 14 games, maybe not. We'll see. Underdog Fantasy, pick them. You can play any sport and win up to 100 times your entry over there at Underdog Fantasy. We are going to drop an Underdog Fantasy lineup at the end of the show, so make sure you stick around for that. We always do that. So sign up with NBA SGPN. Claim your special pick. First time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, your home for AI picks and props. Rhythm is already off to a great start, helping you dominate March Madness, building your own custom model and making it very, very profitable. Or you can use Rhythm models and then go cash on Rhythm stuff. They got a whole bunch of stuff for the NBA. If you like MLB, soon. If you like golf, now. So go over there and lock in with Underdog. Not with Rhythm. So go lock in with Rhythm. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. 7-day free trial to get all the systems and bets and everything they have over there sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, RITHMM. Yep. Helms, WNBA, a month away. We will be gearing up for it very, very soon. I'm actually already in the spirit. I've been betting women's college for like the past 2 weeks.
I was actually going to ask you, have you been more tuned into the regular men's draw where the favorites win every game?
No, dude. I've been
Or the
so
women's?
locked in. And the women have this figured out of playing games during the day, during the week. Like they have it figured out doing that.
Yeah, for the record, I had the under in that Duke South Carolina game, so that went pretty well for me.
Oh, dude,
yesterday.
it wasn't a sweat. It wasn't a
The
sweat.
only sweat was overtime. That was flying under the entire way through. But...
And yeah, that was it. It was like, but I was honestly, when I was watching, I was like, there's at no point am I ever afraid of South Carolina not winning this game. And I was thinking about it like literally pregame because they had both of the coaches and did a little speech, and they said, Dawn Staley, what's it going to take to win this game? And she said, just score one more point than they do. And I was like, oh, Dawn, you are
She's
not
ready.
a sports. You're not a sports
She's ready.
bettors coach. You're not a sports bettors coach. Oh my god.
Well, either way, I feel like
it was 7.
That is the end of that Duke game, though. Just to quickly segue, kind of just sums up how frustrating it can be betting on teams. Because imagine that you're watching Duke with like a money line ticket and you're up after 3 quarters or so,
Yep.
and they run those 2 plays out of the timeout.
Yep.
And you're just like, what did you even draw up? Like, that's just a shame. But good for South Carolina making it back to the Final Four for, what is it, the 4th straight year, I think?
5th straight year?
5th straight? Yeah.
Pretty
I
sure
still have UCLA to win the tournament at 7-1, so we'll see what happens. But
wow. Unfortunately, I'm sitting on UConn to win it.
Okay. I mean, we'll see how they do against the non-Juju USC team.
Oh, dude, the line just went up again. Line just went up again. It was at 13.5. Now it's at 14.5.
All I know is that game was close against Oklahoma. I took a shower, got out, and they were up 20. So I just missed the massive avalanche.
Paige outscored them in the second half by herself.
Yeah, she had 40.
29 second half points.
But I'm rooting for UCLA, 7-1.
All right. Lauren Betts down there, 6'7".
They have so much size.
Yeah, dude. Really, really good team. I faded. I couldn't take LSU against them yesterday. But yeah, as you guys can hear, we are very much getting into the spirit. You said need a women. If I had to do a women's parlay today, I would 100% play the under in TCU in Texas.
I just can't believe Texas is favored by 7.5. It feels pretty high.
Yeah, it does feel like a lot of points. I do kind of feel good about Texas winning the game. But I will admit, I thought that TCU was getting bounced last round.
I thought Texas might have lost last round. They were on the ropes for a bit in that game.
That Tennessee team's strong though. But this TCU team ain't no. I wouldn't be mad at you if you took 7, but I feel good about the under.
In hindsight, Tennessee was kind of a crazy 5 seed with that offense. Kind of a really tough 5 seed to deal with. But
and then the SEC is just so strong. Like so, okay, hold on. Sorry. All right. So I would definitely do the under in that game, and then I am split between either playing the under for UConn USC because I don't think USC is going to be able to keep up their half of the scoring, or just laying the points and laying the 14.5 with UConn. But that's
14.5 is just so I get it, but that's just sad.
Yeah,
because you're on pace for such a good game.
But they're really like that Oklahoma team is pretty good for you to do that in the second half.
That's shout out to USC though. Good win without Juju against Kansas State.
It was.
Shout out to them.
It was a great game. Those freshman guards that they had went off. They had like 34 points combined. And that's exactly who I said needed to have a good game too. Was very, very happy about that result. All right. Now let's get back to it because we got 3 games left. Chicago Bulls on the road going to play the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder are laying 15. 238.5 is the total. Injury report, and we've got Josh Giddey is questionable. Lonzo is doubtful. Kevin Huerter's out. Trey Jones is out. EJ Liddell's out. Isaiah Hartenstein is questionable. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Chet Holmgren is questionable. Jay Will is questionable. J Dub doesn't have an injury designation. Dang, Dukas, Mitchell, Wiggins, all out.
It really feels like both teams don't care about this game.
Yeah, man. I can't. I want to say just go ahead and because granted, Chicago really fun,
Mhm.
really fun team. Scott, I texted you over the weekend, and I was like, we're gonna be cheering for Chicago in the play-in, aren't we?" And you
Mhm.
were like, "Yeah, 100%, man."
I'm rooting for Chicago, Atlanta, first team to 130 wins. I'm gonna have a great time.
Yeah, we're 100% on the Chicago Bulls train here, and we are very much rooting for Chicago. I I mean, first of all, if Giddy doesn't play, they don't have a shot.
No.
So you're waiting on an injury report here, but you could sit here and tell me that the injury report could not go OKC's way, and I could still like OKC. There's no way if Giddy does not play in this game that I will ever say that Chicago is probably going to keep this close. So I guess I got to go to chalk and say OKC.
Yeah, I think I agree, but I'm probably not going to play it. I prefer the under in this game, which sounds dangerous because the Bulls we know aren't a great defensive team. But if Giddy does end up sitting in this game, OKC is just going to send everybody at Kobe White and just dare anybody else to beat them. Like, I just question how big the scoring depth is going to be for Chicago. And Herter's actually been pretty good for this team. He's also not playing. So now you got Terry in the starting lineup. You can rely on Buzelis and Vucevic. But assuming Chet and Hardenstein play, of course, you can do a good job of protecting the middle. I kind of like the under. It's a high total when Giddy, who can get a triple-double on a given night, might not play. I understand why the Bulls would sit him because the Thunder are a crazy team and you got other games on deck. But Giddy missing the revenge game against OKC is pretty upsetting to me. And I kind of wish he would play in this matchup for the spot itself. But do I think he's going to play? No, I don't. So, hot take, maybe the under, maybe Bulls team total under. The Thunder might just clamp him if Giddy doesn't play. So, I don't mind the Bulls team total under, but only if Giddy sits in the game.
Yeah, I want you there. I agree. Only if, it depends on the injury report here or what. I probably could see myself betting the under. Actually, like I could really see myself betting the under if Giddy sits.
Yeah.
All right, Brooklyn Nets on the road going to play the Dallas Mavericks. Your Brooklyn Nets. They're catching 9. 217.5 is total. Injury report here, and let's see where. There we go. We've got Noah Clowney, Cam Johnson, Day'Ron Sharp, all out. Dante Exum is out. Derek Lively is questionable. Caleb Martin is probable.
You got a big returner for Dallas. You got Gafford back in the lineup.
Gafford is probable. And AD is probable. So, things look a little bit different now here in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Laying 9. What are you doing?
So they played a week ago in Brooklyn, and Dallas beat them by 19. I think Dallas blasts this team. I'll go with Dallas to cover. The fact that they have their front court back, I think, is a big deal because Brooklyn, besides Claxton, what do they have? I mean, they got Timmy now, who's playing a little bit, but he's actually been pretty good so far for this team. But Gafford and Davis, we know, are great rim protectors. They got PJ Washington as well. They have the size again to dominate the boards. You're looking at the Nets using Russell, who might be on a min restriction. Who knows? Because the Nets aren't actually trying to win any of these games anymore. But Cam Johnson was great last game. He's out. I just don't see much from the Nets. I think if they go down early, they roll over. They might roll over anyway. But Dallas still fighting for seeding. And the fact that AD and Gafford are back now, I just think the Nets have a serious problem on their hands when it comes to, one, scoring in the paint because of the rim protection, and 2, rebounding. So I like Dallas quite a bit in this game. I think this line's actually too short, especially with Cam Johnson being out. Give me Dallas minus 8.5. They just won by 19 against this team a week ago on the road. So I feel like 8.5 is a bit short.
And that's what makes this kind of
trappy.
Yeah. Because like Dallas is full strength.
Yeah.
Close or at least that's Kyrie, I was about to say as close as they could possibly be.
Before that Wizards game, by the way, the Nets did lose 3 straight games by at least 19 points.
Yeah, the Nets are in like a free fall right now.
Intentionally, but yes.
All right. Dallas minus 9.
I mean, they got the
You've
motivation.
convinced me. You convinced me this time. But
Who's got the chalk?
Fun fact, by the way, the unofficial theme song of March Madness this year.
I'm weak. Very much so. Very much so. Might as well slap it on a tournament before the game starts, and you just hear Rudy's got the chalk, and
Yeah,
then
pretty
it
much.
starts going into college basketball. Like literally exactly what it is. Hopefully, chalk doesn't hit now though in the Final Four because I like Houston. Something doesn't feel good about Dallas. I'm going to continue to roll with it, but something doesn't feel good about Dallas.
Right.
Houston Rockets think this is the game that I feel most confident about on the entire slate. And it's the late game of the slate, which is really annoying. But the Houston Rockets are on the road going to play the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers are laying 4, 224.5 is the total. Let's see. Injury report. And you got to wait for the Rockets because they just played yesterday and they played the late game yesterday. So
Well,
you really
they
got to wait.
played. They got to set everyone for the last quarter and a half, but they played.
Yeah, 148 points. LeBron is probable for this game, and you got Maxi Kleber out. That's it for the Lakers.
So who do you think beefs more with Dylan Brooks in this game, LeBron or Luka?
Oh, dude, it's got to be Luka.
I imagine it's Luka too.
I imagine it's Luka. Dog, Luka's been killing the Rockets.
Yeah.
Luka's been destroying the Rockets. It's pretty bad. So I think this is, I wouldn't say desperation spot for the Lakers, but you want to feel good about getting a win here. You want to feel really, really good about getting a win here. You're getting revenge after that game. What was it, like January that they lost, and they somehow lost that game to the Rockets then? And
Yeah.
I felt like people were really, really backing the Lakers at that point in time. And now they're looking for a way to get back-to-back wins here after the Grizzlies. Rockets have been really, really rough. 2-5 ATS and 2-5 to the total in their last 7 back-to-backs on the road. So they haven't been good on back-to-backs on the road. Look at the Lakers and the Rockets series. 8 of the last 9 games, the home team has won. The one time the home team did not win, the Lakers won on the road, and they were 12-point favorites in the game. So,
By the way, as a whole this season, the Rockets are 5-10-1 ATS when playing on no rest.
5-10-1. So, for me, it was simple. Home team typically wins the games. Rockets are horrible off of the back-to-back. I just played the Lakers, and I like that under. I like the under a lot here in this game. I think that this is a game that the Lakers buckle down. The Rockets I'm glad the Rockets scored 148 yesterday because they scored all the points yesterday. They're not scoring anything today. I like the under in this game as well. So I'm on Lakers and under here.
Yeah, that was kind of the concern I ran into because I had the same logic. I liked the over in the game, but I was worried the Rockets might have used all the makes. But you're looking at the Lakers defensively. This team's horrible. I mean, they've given up 118 plus points in at least 5 straight. They've been an absolute mess on defense. So that's kind of the problem I ran into. They have allowed at least 118 points in 6 straight games. So I blindly like the over, except Houston on back-to-backs has been a great under team because they no-show most back-to-backs. So I was really on the fence in this game in general. You also have to wonder if you want to lay with the Lakers because they seem to blow every game in the fourth quarter down the stretch. Every game's close for no reason. So I guess
the Chicago one was really absurd.
I mean, that was just ridiculous. But yeah, late inbound turnover. But yeah, I am going to go with the over, actually. I think I'll disagree about the total with you just because I need to see the Lakers actually try to guard anybody. They're getting smacked defensively. They're not even close. So I think that Houston can find openings. The first meeting did a lay in 234. I know it goes against the Rockets' back-to-back trend here, but the Lakers have been an absolute it's just an awful defensive unit right now. And I feel like Houston can capitalize on that. And I do think the Lakers, they're going to have to outscore teams with Reeves, with LeBron, and with Luka. I'll disagree with you. I'll go with the over. But it's mostly me daring the Lakers to actually stop anybody at this point. And I have not seen them stop anyone in about 2 weeks. So.
All right. Yeah, that's it. It's the slate. All right. Let's close thing out. Lock, dog, underdog. Scott, over to you.
All right. So for the lock, I thought about doing a player prop, but you know what? I think I'll just go with a side instead. I mean, you mentioned that Dallas feels a bit trappy. It might be, but to be honest, I think it's a great spot for Dallas. I'll take the Mavericks 8.5. I think at the end of the day, the Nets, Cam Johnson was very good against Washington. They won that game, but they didn't look good. And we know Washington's been just a laughingstock. They gave up 162 earlier in the week, and the Nets almost lost to that team. But Cam Johnson in that game, for reference, had a really good overall game. He had 18 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and he's not playing. You're looking at the rebounding core for the Mavericks in this game with Gafford and with Davis and with PJ Washington. I don't know how the Nets grab a rebound in this game, and the Mavericks just beat them by double digits about a week ago. So I think it's a good spot for Dallas. When AD plays, they've actually been pretty good defensively. The Nets, I'm not sure get to 100 in this game, but I do think the Mavericks have enough overall talent to kind of smother this team. And you're looking at the Nets, who might tank the game as well in the second half anyway. Give me the Mavericks minus 8.5 as my lock at home. For my dog, what did I want to go with? I thought about maybe going for a same game parlay in that Celtics game, actually, because I'm picking Boston to win that game. So the question is, what do I want to go with? And I think I arrived at Tatum rebounds for this game, which was at 7.5, which I thought was pretty low. You can get Tatum at 8 rebounds at minus 115. But if you throw in the Celtics money line with that, it turns into plus 149. So give me Tatum, 8 rebounds, and Boston money line at plus 149 as my dog.
I really don't want to do this. Well, I either make a point or I win money.
Sounds like a win-win to me.
Yeah. Boston minus 5 is the lock.
Okay.
Memphis is really bad, man.
They can't stop anybody.
For my dog. This is challenging. This is slightly more challenging. All right, I'm gonna have to do a player prop. I can't get there on the side. So Luka's at 29.5. It's because everybody knows. I should probably still just do it. What's points and assist?
You take an alt Dylan Brooks under and hope he gets ejected?
Oh no. What's his technical count at?
I want to say he's one more away from suspension.
Dude.
I think.
Because Ant's one more away from suspension too. They might be on a full-on race to see who can get suspended first.
See, I feel like Brooks found a loophole in the rule book where if he just gets straight up ejected, he doesn't get technical fouls for that. He just goes straight to the ejection, so he just skips a couple steps.
All right, just give me Luka 35 plus at plus 225.
Okay.
He's been beating the shit out of the Rockets, and this is the first time against the Rockets in a Lakers jersey in LA. Like, just give me Luka for 35.
All right. I'm not going to argue with you there. He owns this team.
I don't feel good about the Boston locking up the Celtics. I'm not going to lie. Not because I don't think that they're going to win, but just because it feels yucky. All right, Underdog Fantasy.
You want to do Luka default points?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think he walks into 30, which is why I was okay taking the 35. All right. Where else are we going with this? Luka higher.
I want to see what the actual line is for the prop I gave out overnight, because there is a chance it might actually be available on Underdog. Yeah, so they have Larson at 8.5 points, but it is a bit juice, so I don't know if I want it anymore, but that was my play overnight.
I gave out Jordan Poole overnight.
Okay. You want to do Tatum rebounds at 7.5?
Let's go get that. higher. Jason Tatum, 7.5 rebounds. And what else do we think is a high scoring affair today? No, I don't need anything out of OKC or Chicago, honestly. I'm trying to think here. We could just blindly think that no, the James Harden line is a little juice. Never mind.
Do you want to do Kawhi points to 21.5?
Oh yeah, why not?
I know it's against Orlando, but Kawhi is in his
He's
bag.
been really good.
at the
Yeah,
moment.
he's been really good. I'm fine with Kawhi. All right.
All right.
I was trying to avoid not giving out Jordan Poole again, but I was literally a second of just saying screw it, let's just take Jordan Poole again. But yeah, no, I'm better with Kawhi. All right, Luka higher, 29.5 points. Jason Tatum higher, 7.5 rebounds. Kawhi Leonard higher, 21.5 points. 6x over there, Underdog Fantasy. $100 gets $600. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Not really. I feel like it was a pretty underwhelming card, to be honest. So hopefully, the games are better than we expect them to be, but should be fun. I mean, I'll be watching the Celtics game and the Rockets game anyway, so I'll be watching it, but hopefully the games are competitive.
Yep. All right. With that is he's at Red Show Radio. I'm at really well __. Make sure you give us a follow. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. And like, comment, subscribe, all on the YouTube page before you leave here. Other than that, that is it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending podcast. Just going to end it like this. We are out of here.